Hey, welcome to the show. This time we're going to talk about
Who are you?
Tax strategies. By the way, I'm Bill Fairman. This
I'm
is
Wendy
Sweet.
Sweet. Yeah.
We are really smart people in our own mind. So, as you know, we're lenders, and the government has put in place a lot of tax benefits for owning property.
Yeah.
They do not give you any benefits for lending money.
Not much.
So I always say, if you're going to own property, own it with cash.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to lend money, do it through a taxed deferred or tax exempt account.
Mm-hmm.
An IRA, traditional IRAs, those are tax deferred.
Right.
Roth IRAs are tax free. Now, you have to pay tax on them when you put the money in, but any money that's earned is
free money.
tax free.
Yeah.
So the other thing I like about the Roth IRA, and remember, I am not a tax advisor or an attorney. Check with your own. I just know a lot of really smart tax people, and I stayed at the
Holiday Inn Express. That's right.
That said, one of the benefits of a Roth IRA is that you can hand it down to your heirs, and it will live for the
in infamy.
Hang on, let me get really studious here. It will actually live for the life of the person that has the IRA,
mm-hmm.
and then you hand it down to your heirs. It will last as long as the actuarial life of the person you hand it down to. So if you're a grandparent,
yeah, or a great grandparent,
and you hand it down to grandkid or a great grandkid, that thing can last through several generations.
It sure can.
Now, once you pass away, you can no
longer. You
longer
don't care anymore.
You can't put any more money in it, but it can certainly continue to earn money.
You can't put any more money in it when you're dead? You mean the heirs can't put any more money in it?
In other words, no one can put any further contributions in it.
But it can continue to earn.
But the amount that's in there can continue to earn.
Right.
Here's another benefit. Your beneficiary, as long as the account has been open and active for 5 years,
mm-hmm.
can start drawing from it tax-free at any age.
That's right. College, here you go.
So you don't have to wait until you're retired to start drawing off of this. But that's a nice legacy to leave somebody.
It really is.
So if you're thinking about investing in a fund that's, let's say, it derives most, I would say the vast majority of its income is derived from interest income. So payments on a loan.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do that in your IRA, because again, there's no tax benefits to earning money through interest payments.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that, and there's plenty of them, the other benefit to a fund that allows you to compound over time. Let's say, for example, you make a loan in your IRA,
mm-hmm.
and you get monthly payments. What happens to those monthly payments that your IRA is receiving?
They sit there doing nothing
until
you are making them earn again, right?
Yeah, until you get enough money to make another loan with. That money is sitting there idle in your account.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a fund that allows you to compound or take that earning, that monthly payment that you're receiving,
mm-hmm.
this will allow you to roll it over and continue to increase the balance, take advantage of not only the compound effect, but now that money is constantly working.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing with an individual loan-based investment versus in a fund that makes loans is, we've already discussed this before, you're diversified because your money is spread out over many loans.
Mm-hmm.
The individual loan, that's a chunk of change into one asset.
Right.
And if that thing goes south for any reason, it doesn't mean you're going to lose money,
mm-hmm.
but you're certainly not going to make any until you figure out the disposition, right?
Right. Talk about a little bit about the UBIT tax that might be due, depending on what type of fund it is, whether it's an equity fund, a debt fund, or if it's leverage. That's
all right. So
important.
We're going to get kind of in the weeds here. There is a tax that you're required to pay for. It's called if you make your IRA a business,
mm-hmm.
they will tax you on the profit. If your IRA has leverage, they will tax you on the profit. So what do I mean by leverage or operating a business? If you're flipping a couple of homes a year and you're doing it with your IRA, that's not really a business.
Right.
But if you start flipping 5, 6, 7 a year, the IRS may think that you're running a business.
You think?
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
And they will tax you on that
Mhm.
because you're not supposed to be operating a business in your IRA. You can invest in a business,
Right.
but you can't have ownership, management responsibilities, let's say,
Right.
in that business. Leveraging your account. And what do we mean by that? Let's assume you have a $20,000 balance in your IRA and you want to buy a $100,000 house. You could use leverage to do that with.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a loan there are companies out there that will loan to your IRA.
Right.
Now, they're not loaning to you, they're loaning to your IRA. Your
Right.
IRA is considered an entity, a legal entity.
Right.
And it has to be what's called non-recourse because the IRA can't benefit you personally. That also means you can't be held personally responsible for a loan made to your IRA.
Right.
So they call it a non-recourse
Which
loan.
is why a lot of banks don't do that because it's non-recourse.
Yeah, they want to be able to make that person personally responsible for
Right.
the loan.
Right.
So that being said, the IRS, too many IRs in there. The IRA doesn't like you being able to take your $20,000 IRA.
The IRS doesn't like you to be able
That's
to
what I
take
just
it.
said.
You almost did, but not quite. Go ahead.
So they don't like it when you can take a $20,000 IRA and use leverage to turn it into a $100,000 value right away.
Right.
And that's what you're doing. If you borrow $80,000 and you use your $20,000 IRA as the down payment,
Right.
they call that leverage. So they're going to hit you with a pretty high tax. I think it's like 45%, but it's 45% of the profit earned. So there are some good strategies that you can use. And again, you're really getting into the weeds here for a short
Right.
little video for this. But if you do own property in your IRA, which I already told you shouldn't, you should just make loans. You can, and the reason for this is the government gives you tax advantages to own property. And if you're using your IRA to own the property with in a tax deferred or a tax exempt account, you're not taking advantage of the tax advantage that the government gives you.
It's like not putting the whipped cream on the ice cream.
But
and the cherry.
If you utilize leverage and they're going to charge you a tax on the profit, you can at that point take the depreciation that they allow you and offset the tax they're going to charge you for the UBIT. Now, there's nothing wrong with paying UBIT tax. Don't let people scare you about that. Yes, it can be 40, 45% of the profit, but remember this, it's on the profit. The profit is what? The cash flow. If you're making $200 a month cash flow,
you're paying 45% of that.
And you're also able to depreciate some of that.
That's true.
You're only talking about a little bit of money, a little bit of tax, a little teeny bit of tax. And what happens with the house? House goes up in value over time because it appreciates.
Right.
Someone else is making your payment, so you're paying this loan down, correct?
That's right. Hopefully, right.
And you're paying for a loan with dollars that are going to be worth less down the road.
That's right.
So as the value of the property, sorry, I can't tell whether you can see my hands or not. And I like talking with my hands.
I can see them. They look great.
So the value of the property is going up. Somebody else is paying down the payments and they're paying it with something that's worth less than it was when it started.
That's right.
So leverage can be good. And even if you are paying UBIT, it's going to be a small amount. Again, I'm not a tax professional. I don't work for the IRS. Consult with your own professionals on these.
They wouldn't let you work for them.
Yes, because I explain too much. But those are some good tax strategies to use when you're using funds or when you're doing individual loans.
That's right. And you know, there's a lot of information out there that you can pick up on, and there's so many other ways that you can learn about self-directed IRAs. There's some great companies out there that we know, like, and trust, people that are friends of ours. Quest IRA or Quest Trust now. Gamma Plan is one. American IRA, IRA Services, Rocket Dollar. Equity Trust Company has some great things educational wise as well.
All of them on their website have education on.
Yeah, so sign up, go to their websites, sign up for their newsletters, their seminars, the webinars that they do. You can learn so much.
It's just like Thanksgiving at our house.
It's my turn,
There's 5 siblings. We're all trying to get a word in edgeways. So there's only about 5% of the actual population that has even heard of a self-directed IRA.
Mm-hmm.
Most people understand that there are IRAs. Most people are familiar with 401ks. But most self-directed IRAs are not truly self-directed IRAs. If you have an IRA with a managed account,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking your brokerage houses, your Vanguards, your
Fidelity.
E-Trays, Fidelities,
Yeah.
those people are managing that account. And while they call it self-directed, they're giving you a basket of 4 or 5,
Yeah.
maybe 6 different
Here, you can pick from these
stocks you can pick
Mhm.
from, or funds you can pick from. That's not self-directed. Self-directed is truly you can invest in anything you want other than art and collectibles,
Right.
right?
Right.
And if you know real estate more than you know the stock market, wouldn't you prefer to invest your money in something that you know
Right.
versus something that you don't?
And something that it can go away when the stocks drop.
Yeah.
You know, they're gone. In real estate, you at least have collateral, right?
Yep. So Google self-directed IRA custodians.
Yes.
We've named off a few.
Mm-hmm. There are many more that are
learn
really good.
about them. They're awesome to have. You can self-direct a Coverdale account, which is a college account. Right?
Health savings account,
Yep. Savings accounts can be self-directed. What else?
the education savings account, which is really what you were
That's what I just
talking
said,
about.
The Coverdale.
The 401ks.
It's amazing. If you're self-employed and you have no employees other than your spouse, your spouse counts, you can have what's called a self-directed solo 401k.
Mm-hmm.
And it acts like many other 401ks, except for you can do even more. And if you're over 50, you can put up to $59,000 away each year.
That's a lot of money.
A regular IRA is going to be limited to 55 and 65,000.
Yeah.
Depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
That's an awesome benefit. There's some good books out there on that as well. If you would shoot us some information on yourself, we'll be happy to send out information. As a matter of fact, we'll put a link into the video on some good books on solo 401ks.
That's a great idea.
How's
That's
that?
a great idea.
All right. So I'm done with some tax strategies. I know there's many more, but again, I only played one on TV.
Yeah. A tax strategy.
Tax strategist.
Yeah.
So I'm limited with what I can tell you.
That's right.
So thank you so much for joining us on the show. Don't forget to subscribe
And like us.
Mm-hmm. And if you like even more videos,
yeah, you can check them out.
got
They might be up
in
there.
other
They might be
places, too.
over here. It might be down here.
don't forget our website, carolinahardmoney.com, carolinahardmoney.com.
Tell all your friends. Thanks so much.
So thank you so much for joining us. If you really like what you heard, you want to see some more, switch over here or here or perhaps there. There's more episodes, but they're somewhere.
Yeah. I think
Click it on.
They're up.
By the way, subscribe and like us as well.
Please.